The Detroit Lions signed Cam Sutton in free agency in the 2023 offseason, and it was one of the biggest deals that general manager Brad Holmes had given out. 3 years, $33 million, essentially $11 million a year. And he had a huge kind of signing bonus guaranteed that was coming this year. Well, right after that happened, some things came out about him. You guys remember the saga, and Cam Sutton was eventually let go of the Detroit Lions after there was a warrant issued for his arrest. I remember it was like it was yesterday. All of this happened in the morning, and by the next day, the Detroit Lions, within 24 hours, had released him. Now, you know, we live in a world where I understand assumptions can be made about people with misinformation, but I think that, and people can act too swift at times. We've seen teams act swiftly, and then, you know, whatever the person is being accused of is wind up wiped out later due to false statements being made or things like that. So I think in some cases, the NFL does want to preserve their image. A team wants to preserve their image, and they will cut ties. We just saw it happen with another NFL player last week. But in some cases, I think that it is the right move. And with Cam Sutton, I think this was the right move. I saw this. I was done talking about this guy, but I saw this, and I'm like, you know what? I'll let you see for yourself. This is coming from NFL on NBC, Mike Florio. Now, Mike Florio is kind of to me, he gets on my nerve. He really does bug me a lot of times. But this take right here, I kind of agree with it. But let me let you hear it for yourself. Here's what Mike Florio had to say, and I am not prepared. So let me get prepared real quick. There we go. All right, so I can hear it too. Here's what he had to say when it comes to, before I go there, Cam Sutton, if you haven't heard, signed a deal with the Steelers, and that's why we're here. Signed a deal with the Steelers. I thought that this guy was maybe done in the NFL, but I should have known better. I really should have known better. And he still could face discipline from the NFL. But a couple days ago, I was at work. He signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They always run back home to mama when something happens, right? Or in this case, daddy, Mike Tomlin. So he goes back to the Steelers. They sign him. One of my Steelers guys said that this probably was going to happen. It came out a month ago after, this has been 3 months now that this has happened. I want to say it was somewhere around the 7th. The 7th of March is when this happened. We didn't find out until like March 20 something. And then within that 24 hours, the Detroit Lions cut him. But the Steelers signed him. I think it's a 1-year deal. It's like almost vet minimum. It's like $1 million, $1.2 million or something like that. He probably shouldn't be making anything in my opinion. But here's what Mike Florio had to say. Let's check it out.
After being at large for weeks in March, Cam Sutton turned himself in on domestic violence charges. He eventually was charged with misdemeanor domestic battery. He entered a diversion program. The Lions released him before he even turned himself in. The Steelers have since signed him. He appeared yesterday at off-season workouts, and he was asked this question: what is your message to fans in the aftermath of everything that's happened this offseason?
It's an opinion-based world. Everybody kind of moves on the movement of not knowing, but feel the presence or feel the space to speak. So and that's give or take. However it goes. My job is not to appeal to someone else. My job is to be the best version of myself. And how do I give that off to the mass, or how do I give that off to everyone around me? I'm in full control of that. So I'm never worried about a narrative. I'm never worried about what necessarily people say, because obviously more than likely they don't know me more than anybody else. You know what I mean? And again, it gets back to just your foundation, your morals. Who you are individually as a human being, and just what you stand on. Holding my head high. Again, everybody goes through adversity. Everybody goes through things in their life that, can change it in both directions. So it's all about how you stand on that and what you do from that.
Particularly the first 20 seconds, but really that whole answer was just like he kept hitting the button on a random cliche generator. He didn't say a damn thing. He expressed no remorse. If anything, some people hear that and say he's almost like characterizing himself as a victim, like we all go through adversity. Well, some adversity is set upon us. Some adversity we create by the things we do. And he's going to go through more adversity because, Chris, my understanding of the personal conduct policy, he's entered the diversion program, domestic violence, baseline suspension of 6 games. And there are aggravating factors that could drive it higher. And when you look at the police affidavit, the probable cause affidavit, during the argument that resulted in the charges, Sutton picked up the woman who was his, and apparently is, longtime girlfriend and mother of 3 children, slammed her into a wall, bit her on the neck, leaving a quarter-sized abrasion that bled, grabbed the woman by the face and neck and choked her, causing her to briefly lose consciousness, for crying out loud. Altercation continued into the living room of the house, where Sutton held down the woman by her hair and struck her twice with his fist, causing a knot to form on the woman's forehead. Repeated striking, choking, and anything that might have happened in the presence of children. 3 aggravating factors from the personal conduct policy that drive that higher than 6. I don't get what the Steelers are doing here, other than saying, we had this guy for 6 years, we got him cheap. He's a starting corner, and we got him cheap, and we'll just deal with this crap. It's a lot of crap, and it's a bad look for the Steelers that they gave this guy, second chance. And as we always say, talent will get you that second chance. If this guy was a scrub, he'd never be back in the league.
Wait a minute. What? Talent will get you a second. A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fine, is also known as Cam Sutton. Come on, bro. Are we serious? First of all, the Steelers, that's what they do. That's what they do. That's their business. They do what they do. But kudos to the Detroit Lions. I forgot to put the disclaimer in there. I'm sorry to anybody who is triggered by this. I forgot to tell you what time. I'll put it in the comment section below. I'll put it as a pinned comment. There was some stuff in here that I didn't know. I didn't know about striking her on the head. I didn't know about, I didn't know about losing consciousness. And Cam Sutton, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding? You speak of morals and high values and character and people talking without knowing what really happened? Bro, what we do know is that you had an opportunity to say all of that in front of the police, and you decided to flee and go into hiding for 2 weeks. For over 14 days, you were on the run. I don't know about y'all, man, but the dude looked crazy to me. He looked crazy. He looked like he going down that AB, Antonio Brown kind of rabbit hole. Man, I'm so glad the Lions got rid of this dude, man. I'm so glad they got rid of this dude. I'm all about finding out the facts. I'm all about innocent until proven guilty. I'm all about maybe reserving judgment and not being so swift about certain actions. But at the same time, it was some stuff in there that I didn't know. And if this was on videotape, it'd be a wrap. We saw what happened to Ray Rice. If this was on videotape, Kareem Hunt, very similar situation. Now, this guy, he acted like he made a mistake. You talked about decision making. You chose and made a decision to act like this. Are we serious, bro? I mean, I'm not surprised by the Steelers, and I am surprised. Maybe the Lions are the new Steelers. Maybe the Steelers are like old-fashioned, traditional. And then you talk about if he's a starting cornerback. And I mean, okay, did Mike Florio and Chris Sims, did they watch any Detroit Lions games? Y'all remember, hold on, do I have it on the soundboard? Nope, I don't. I thought I had Toasty on the soundboard because he was getting fried in a skillet, bro. Like, are we serious? If he wasn't a starting cornerback, he was in a system in Pittsburgh that did him a lot of favors. When you got Cam Hayward, you got TJ Watt, you got Alex Highsmith, you got some dogs on that defensive line. You got some standout linebackers too. You can be less than stellar. You can be a scrub and a starting corner, bruh. This guy was making Jerry Jacobs look like a Hall of Famer. Stop it. But anyway, I had listened to that video several times because I wanted to make sure I could stay on topic and really, okay, what was being said here? But are you serious? Are you serious? I'm glad that the Lions acted. Like I said earlier, sometimes you can make decisions. You can make decisions that maybe you act too quickly. Maybe you do. Let me go back to this dude. Maybe you do, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you act too quickly and you make decisions based off emotion, or you make decisions based without finding out all the facts. But I found out some worse things than this. And let's be clear, Cam Sutton is not the first, he is not the last, and not the only NFL player to do something dumb to another person off the field. I don't understand this. I don't understand. Football is a very, very violent game. Very extremely. You hear NFL players say that they get to unleash on the field. You would think when they got off, all of that frustration would be gone. If you feel in some type of way within the comforts of the game, within the rules of the game, you can do whatever you want within the rules. I'm not advocating any type of violence. What I'm saying is football is a brutal sport. Collisions, high speed. You have to be some type of, you have to have that monster mentality, man, to play this game. You really do. You have to love what you're doing. But at the same time, come on, bro. I didn't know he did all of that. I heard some things, but back when we found, because we didn't even know the brother was in trouble until it was a warrant. And they only, man, come on, man. So I'm glad the Lions made the right decision. They made the right decision. They really did. And I hope that, this goes a long way to showing that even NFL players, man, you need to be, you see how calm Cam Sutton was, bro? You see how calm he was right here? Just all this talking, he never addressed once. He talking about other people like we made a mistake. You left. You were on the run. You were on the run. And I don't know about y'all, man, but if you run, that usually means you might be guilty. You might be guilty. All Cam Sutton had to do is sit, stay put, explain himself, and let everything fall where it may. If people were acting and speaking without all the knowledge, why didn't you give them the knowledge? Why couldn't we find you for 14 plus days, bro? And then you just, hey, I don't have morals and values and character and hold my head up high. You better be glad you got ahead, bruh. And I ain't even, for real. Because you shouldn't be putting your hands on nobody, let alone a lady. Come on, man. Anyway, Cam Sutton, bro, I'm glad I'm glad he's not on the team. Any Pittsburgh still to see this. I'm glad he's not on the team. Because we ain't gonna have that. Dan Campbell said yesterday in a press conference that if you are a contract type year guy, you gonna ball out for a contract, you ain't supposed to be on this team. We don't want you. We don't need you on this team. And we definitely don't need morals and values and how about, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. I was on the run. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have put my hands. Shouldn't have done none of this stuff. And I should have owned up to it like him. You ran away. Come on, bro. Cam Sutton is all right. Glad he was a bum with us. He was a bum before us, and he a bum now. Still, let's have fun, man. Knock yourself out. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, man. We trying to hit 21K. You can help me do that if you are a returning viewer. I looked at my subscription versus non-subscription. It's pretty decent. It's like 56% of y'all are subscribed. But that's that 44 that's not. Y'all like, man, this guy, he probably gonna pop off again. I'm gonna have to unsubscribe. So so it's all right because I would really love if I can get that number to maybe 60-40. 60-40 would be great. But you guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. Look, when I say and each other, I mean and each other. Take care of yourself and each other. Be good people, as other people say, because this is nonsense. Keep your hands to yourself, man. For real. I will catch you in the next one. And as always, go Detroit Lions, not former Detroit Lions and chumps like Cam Sutton. What a chump, bro. Wow.